Hi everybody. Today we're going to do a drawing of something like a flip-flop or a sandal. You got something like that. And what I want to do is try to draw it so it looks three-dimensional. If you look at the sandal right at your eye level like this, it looks kind of flat. You're only seeing one side of it. So your drawing would look something like that. But what I want to do is I want to draw it so it looks like you can see more of it like this. It's at an angle. You're not looking at it just from one side. So if you look down here on your table here like this, pretend this is your drawing paper. What I might do first is think about that there's going to be very lightly with your pencil. You make a very light line like that on your paper, and then you're going to make a little bit of a line like this on an angle, like pointing to 1 o'clock. And you put one over here the same way, kind of pointing at 1 o'clock like that. And then you're going to finish up the other side like this, and you're going to make it's kind of like you're looking at a little rectangle here. It looks like a little carpet or a welcome mat that your sandal, your flip-flop, is sitting on. But when you look at it at an angle, when you look at it from over here, it's a little bit out of an angle so that my rectangle that it's resting on is kind of at an angle like that. You just make it very, very light. It doesn't have to be dark because you're going to erase that. So that's what I'm looking at there, okay? But now I'm going to do a drawing of it. Okay? So if you're looking at it like that, imagine that there's this little thing on there like that. So I'm going to have the same thing on my drawing happening here like this. So here's one side going this way, and then I'm going to have it just a little bit of an angle, like at 1 o'clock, pointing over at 1 o'clock here like this, and then I can have a little bit of the other side over here like this. And I just got a little bit of an area that I'm going to draw this flip-flop in. The first thing I like to go for is the sole of the flip-flop. How thick is it? Well, when I look at the edge of the flip-flop, it's not going straight across like this. It's going it's got a little bit of a curve to it. So if I start at this end here and cut off the corner just a little bit like that, I come down to the edge of it like this, and I'm coming along the edge of it and following it, but I might go back inside a little bit, and then back outside, just a little bit outside the ring, and then I'm going to cut across the corner here like this, cutting across the corner, and then I get to the top, and I'll stop there like that. That's sort of the way I see the curve of the sole. And then I'm going to give a second edge to it to show how thick it is. So the same kind of line right above it like this. I'm just going to go along. If it goes up a little bit, it goes down a little bit, it goes up a little bit. But here I'm going to have the two kind of meet together like that. So that's going to be how thick the sole is. And then the back side of it, which will be coming from here, I'm following that edge there. I'm going to come around the back side of it. It gets a little thicker up here at the toe. It's thinner back here at the heel. So as I come around the first line I did there, I'm going to stay right on my line there, the rectangle I drew. I go up the edge of the rectangle, but then I'm going to cut across the corner like that before I get there. And I'm going to have this side come along like this, just under the line, and then it's going to go just outside the line a little bit, come around and join in where I met over there like that. And I've got some kind of the sole of it that I'm looking at from an angle here like this. Then you can show how the sole is split into two pieces. If it's got another little seam in there like that, you can do it like this. But I don't know, your flip-flop may look different, or you might do something as complicated as this. If someone wanted to try to do something really, really interesting, you can get an old boot like this that has lots of little details in it. But the first thing I like to start with is the sole, and then I'll build the boot. I'll put it together just the way they stitched all the pieces together like a puzzle, and you can end up with something like this, which would just have lots of little details in it like this. How does the heel of the boot go around the corner like that? How does the sole go up in the air here like this? It makes a smile here. There's a little gap here. Then the heel is attached on here like this. It goes around the corner. It goes around the corner like that. And then you can add little details to it however you like. It just looks like a big cartoon. But let's just do this one for today here. So here I go. How how are the little straps attached in here? Well, they're attached here and here. I'm going to put a little dot where they're going to attach here, and then one at the same angle that I did that little rectangle on the ground there. I'll put that over here at a little bit of an angle so they're not straight on top of each other. And that shows me where that piece there is going to go up like this, and then it's going to cut back down way before it gets to the end there like that. I'm going to stop it right there. Then I'm going to make, look how thick is that? I'm going to make a second line underneath it like this, and it goes up over it, and it comes in like this, and this time it's going to go outside like that, and it's going to join in like that. So you have a little crisscross happening. It's interesting. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this side here curve down, and it curves down, and it just meets up with the edge of it like that. And then this side here is going to curve down and meet up with it like that. So I have two edges like that. Then you can take your eraser, and if it crosses over something, I'll clean that out there. If it crosses over here, I'll clean that out there like that. And you've got a little strap there. It has a little place for your toe to stick in there, your big toe and your next toe. So it's just a little cylinder. It's just a little tiny post like this. Two-sided like that. It comes down, it goes into a hole, so you make a little smile at the bottom of it like that, and that's how it fits like that. That's pretty easy, isn't it? You've got something that looks nice in 3D. That's all you got to do. If you want to add a little shading to it, it looks kind of cool to show a little shadow underneath it. Well, right where you had your original rectangle on the paper there, I might add a little bit of shadow in there, and then I'll blend it in just under my line there like that. I might add a little bit of shadow up in this corner of that rectangle that I had on the floor, and I'll just blend that in a little bit so it looks like there's just a little tiny shadow underneath it like that. You can have some fun with that. You can always then take out your rectangle marks. You don't need that anymore, that little rectangle that it was on the table there. And then you can kind of round the shadow off a little bit like that if you want to. That's all you got to do. Pretty simple like that. The end of it here, sometimes when you get to the edge here, you can straighten that out a little bit like that. And on the very end over here like that, you can do the same thing. You can kind of straighten it out and just clean up the edge of it. And you got a little flip-flop like that. Simple as pie. Give it a try. Okay? Bye.